Alright, welcome back to Password, everybody. I'm Dirk the Red Panda, and yes, this is Password. For the second time I mentioned it. I can't believe it finally has music. I mean, this is just... this is pretty shocking to me. And I like it, though. It's very fitting. I'm so used to it just being complete silence. And hello, Caesar from Mexico. Great to see you. Yeah, let me pull up the meme of the week because I had it on Discord. I just forgot to save it. But it's a good one, and it's Tyson themed, which makes it even better. As Discord opens up and hopefully doesn't crash my computer. Take your time, Discord. Yeah. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna quickly go on to YouTube, actually. I was about to say Twitter, but I found my honorary meme of the week on YouTube, actually. So I need to look it up right now. Blah, blah, blah. Part 9. Come on, where is it? Oh god, no, stop. Ugh, these people. I try and look up password on YouTube, and it just comes up with all these gross things. I am scarred. I think I have to go back to Twitter to find it. Because I think it was the Password VN that retweeted it. Okay. Gotta work really hard to get to it. Jeez. Notifications, I have to wait for you. Oh god, that's another good one. Oh, but that one's Dean themed, and it's like, I really had one before prepared in mind. Oh my god, why you got so many good fan arts, Password? I love it. But there's a video, I swear, that you guys retweeted. It's... where is it? Discord is still loading, by the way. Users are currently having trouble connecting to Discord due to an upstream internet issue. Great. I'm gonna turn the Wi-Fi off and use my Ethernet cable to see if that fixes things, which it did. Come on. Where the heck is it? I swear it's somewhere here. Out of that, I'm going crazy. May have been from a while back, actually. May have gone on like some crazy tangent looking for this one. Oh god. There's some other ones that are some good references. Okay, come on. That has to be the honorary one this week. Okay, this one comes from Ty Irving, I think it is. And let me see if I can pull up the window for it. Come on. Where the heck are you, Firefox? Oh, there it is. Okay, honorary meme of the week. I just clicked not to see. There it is. Let me just... So, yeah, I can adjust this. This one comes from Ty Irving. Admit you're gay, or draw 25. In very suitable Tyson fashion. Okay, I'm gonna shrink the window. And for anybody who just came to the stream, we got music now for Password. Password has a theme song. Alright, so let me see if I can pull it up and put it in a different window so it's not in the way of my live stream window. Come on. Switch windows, dang it. Alright, there we go. Much better. If I hide it, will it change anything? No! Hey, I hit it and then it did something. Okay. Stay there. Alright. Now that Discord's open, I can finally reveal the meme of the week. And the meme of the week goes to... I'm looking up their name. I just remember the meme itself being very nice. Ah, shoot. There it is. They said their Photoshop for it was bad, but it's the heart of it that counts. This one comes from Weatherboy1102, and their meme is... As soon as I can pull the dang thing up. Shoot. Oh, spoiler, dumb meme. Comes from Weatherboy1102 with your virginity handed over. And the comment for it was, Tyson, after you find out the first password. These are some very fitting Tyson memes, and we have 2 Tyson memes for the Tyson update. So, thank you guys for these amazing memes. Or, well, thank you to Weatherboy and everybody else who participated. It is very true indeed. Yep. Still shocks me, but another thing that I forgot to mention is that Tyson and Dean normally got updated at the same time, and I think Grizzly did it 2 characters at a time. But now the order is kind of switched up a little bit. Grizzly is doing it at least 3 characters at a time now, I think. Or at least he did it for this month. I don't know about the previous months. But for this month, instead of Tyson and Dean being in the same month, Tyson was updated this month. But I'm assuming Dean will be updated like next month with like the other 2 characters that hadn't got updated. May have been Roswell. I know Haas was the other character that got updated this update, so... Yeah, you can always look at their itch.io page, their Patreon, etc. and find it there, actually, so... Yes. Some interesting things to talk about. Can't believe it's been April since I've done this update. Jeez. So the end of day 10 is here, so all we have is day 11, but, you know, these days take a long time. So, with that out of the way, might as well get into the reading. Ooh, we got a little day 10 logo on the left. It was usually the other way around, but the steady thumping of his heart put me at ease. As I yawned against him, he gently rubbed my arm until I was out like a light. Or out like a night light. Like a night light. Never gonna let that one up. Ooh, look at the font, day 11. Looks pretty cool. And we got more music. It's been 6 updates since I've updated this, so this is all new to me. I remember tossing and turning in my sleep, restless. Dave, come on, buddy. Time to get up. Or, time to get up. I'm trying to put on that dad voice. The corners of my mouth twitched upwards at the familiar voice. But it soon faded, brow furrowed. 5 more minutes, Dad. Oh. Are you that tired? Oh, you slept long enough, buddy. Come on. Ah, there he is, Dave's dad. Dave's dad's the true OG in this novel. My eyes adjusted to see Dad sitting on the bed, a hand on my shoulder from where he gently nudged me awake. I still felt sluggish, but what I could see was clear. Oh, that's my boy. Dad? What? Where? I had to have been dreaming again, right? This was a dream, much like the last time, but... Why? Why now? Oh, my heart ached seeing him after what had happened with Sal and Dean. Oh, are you sick, son? Oh, you're looking a little under the weather. No, I'm fine, I think. I just... What? You sure? I don't mind calling in sick myself if you want me around. Or I could shoot Tyson a message to see if he'll keep you company again. I sat up, rubbing my eyes. I had to be dreaming. I went to pull out my fur to see if that's wake me, but my own arm slipped out of my grasp. Dad, why are you here? That's not very nice, son. I'll always be with you. This hurts. It's just the job of a dad. You'll be with me. Always? That's right. So, come on downstairs. It's almost time to get going. He got up and left the room before I could get a word in. That was normal. Maybe not with how he seemed to slide out of the room, but he did move fast when he was excited. But where were we going? And why? The next thing I knew, I was downstairs, looking at the living room. I couldn't make out what they were saying, but I could hear Mom and Dad yelling. Oh, Dad stomped past me, stopping at the door. He just looked at me quietly for a moment before he sighed out. He went to say something, but it was garbled, like I couldn't understand him. He went to speak again, much to the same result. I shook my head, confused, but he seemed to be laughing. I took a couple steps towards him, reaching out my hand, but... Yep. Why does this keep happening? Then he was gone. As the bedroom came back into view, I looked around to take stock of where I was. Hammond Manor. A bed that I was, for the most part, slowly becoming used to. But the one thing I was used to was the wolf next to me, sprawled out on his back, seemingly at peace. My mind began to wander as I stared at the ceiling. I didn't normally have dreams like this. More so about Dad. Was it just getting to the point pushing it down wasn't working? I sat up in bed and shifted away from the other person occupying it, feeling not quite tired, but more confused as to how I was really coping. By the time I was decent and made my way downstairs, I looked out at the foyer. Wrong button. The house was quiet. For how big it was, I expected there to be some sort of sound echoing, but the soundproofing probably took care of that. Taking a seat on the stairs, I cradled my head in my hands, rocking back and forth slowly. What do I do? I repeated the question as a whisper to no one in particular, not even to myself as I tried to figure out what the next plan was. I'd been successful, right? Seeing what I had in the vault. Even at the cost of making Sal sad. Was it worth it? God, this sucks. I groaned out, slumping back against the stairs before I caught movement nearby. Wait, huh? I thought you were not supposed to be out here at these hours. Get back in your dungeon and eat Cheerios. Or, not Cheerios. Lucky Charms or whatever children's cereal you eat, Oz. Must you be so loud in the morning? I wasn't loud. The words were already out of my mouth before I realized the irony, and saw Oswin crack a smile. Why aren't you in your... hiding? I'm on my way to bed. Wandering my own house is somewhat normal given I live here, no? But staying hidden and... Oh, believe me, I am aware. But at the same time, consider that I would know how best to move about my house, outside of, perhaps, Benson. So you're going to disappear now? Oh, soon. Are you still interested in another meeting tonight? If you've changed your mind, then I suppose that's that. Oh, no! I mean, no, I'm still interested. Good, because I have, questions for you after last night. You put on quite a show. Wait, you were watching? The equivalent to a morning television program, if anything, but something that I've been pondering while you've been asleep, no doubt. I scrunched up my nose at him, feeling bitter that I was just a form of entertainment to him. Am I funny to you? Am I a joke to you? Funny? Funny? No. Fascinating? Absolutely. Granted, your mental state is something I'm... concerned about. Whatever effect the vault is having on you is something that could do some lasting damage. I don't have a choice if it's keeping my friends alive! Quite. Which is why it's imperative I monitor you when I can to make sure you, don't degrade further. Either way, it's something to address tonight. I'll meet you in the library at 11 p.m. and I'll take you to the lab from there. I can't just meet you at the lab? Oh, not this time. Not without me showing you the way first. That in of itself is a test. I'm curious to know how you'll respond. I wasn't convinced, and it must have shown in my face. Oh, don't worry about it, Dave. I shall see you tonight. It's so funny looking at him. Like, he has, the same type of look as, one of my volleyball coaches back in the day, and it's just, reminding me of him, because he has, the same personality as him, and it's just... I'm getting flashbacks to high school because of it. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I didn't think to follow him, but I watched as he headed towards the basement. I could only assume that he had another secret passage down there or had something else planned. Either way, the others were likely to start showing up soon. With the thoughts of the others soon joining me, I headed into the dining room in a daze. Oh, coffee. Breakfast. God, I was just so tired. Ugh. I'm feeling the same way. I only got up 2 hours ago. I'm still tired, and I don't have any energy drinks or anything to keep me up. All I have is my water next to me. Even though I put I put yerba mate on the list, and we still didn't get it. At least I got ice cream, though. And booze. Yep, that's the state we're in right now. Anyway. Then, into the kitchen. I wondered if I should just head back to bed, or if I should just stay here. It wasn't as if it was any different to any other morning at home. Especially with Dad gone. A hand on my shoulder made me jump, and I spun back to look at who had touched me as they pulled their hand away. Oh, you. Nah, kid, it's Benson. Say hi to Benson, everybody. I'm not even looking at the camera, I'm just like looking off to the side. I will leave the stream because I haven't reached day 11 yet. Okay, so I won't have it spoiled to me. Oh, thanks, Edwin. I bet you're probably gone now, but... Nice seeing you and saying hi. Good, I need my coffee. Oh, it's just you. Oh, did I scare you? Heaven forbid I did anything of the sort. No, just... It's fine, really. I didn't even smile. Even if I wanted to out of reflex, it just didn't happen. What's troubling you, my boy? You look worse for wear, and no wonder, given the hour. I just... don't know anymore. All this stuff is just getting to me. I pulled my gaze away to stare at the coffee pot, hoping it finished brewing faster. Oh, God. It's been getting to me for a bit now, but... no one understands. Right? As far as they know, this is just... a thing in my head. After all, like... What would you do if your friend told you that you were going to die out of nowhere? He didn't respond, so I continued. Or if you had to accuse one of your friends for murdering someone else. What do I do? There's nothing you can do, my boy. For one reason or another, you've made this decision, and the only one holding you to it is yourself. It was inside you all along, my boy. But what if someone dies? Everyone dies, be it by natural causes or by an assailant in the night. Or by accidentally doing something to yourself and screwing yourself up. Or drinking bleach. Or tripping and falling off a cliff. Or eating Shuichi's food. Anyway, take it from someone with first-hand experience in such matters, Dave. Yes. Yes, you. Like that's meant to help anyone. That's not going to help me, knowing that everyone's just gonna die. Then perhaps, Master Dave, you should stop believing you have absolute control over everyone's life. Oh God, he's angry at me. Perhaps, Master Dave, you should stop believing you have absolute control over everyone's life. If it is their time, it is simply their time. I clenched my jaw. Then my fists. Then the next thing I knew, I was throwing a fist at Benson. Maybe it was something rubbing off on me from Tyson. Maybe it was just an act of defiance after what Benson had said. But his moves were calm and precise, stepping around my arm and grabbing my wrist and twisting it tightly, making me yelp. Now listen here, my boy. His grip tightened and I started to whine as he forced me to my knees, kicking lightly behind my knee. God, it hurts. Stop. Oh, does it? Then perhaps you should think twice about trying to inflict pain on others, my boy. God damn, Benson, what's up with you? I yelped as he clenched tighter, his grip almost like a vice. But then he let go, and the moment he did, I cradled my arm, whimpering. If you're that keen on fighting for control, then be ready for someone or something to fight back. Fighting for what's right is not necessarily the easiest road. Alright, Benson. I went from being very indifferent about you to really not liking you now. It will hurt, Dave. He stepped away and I got up, shaky. But then... Yes, they'll die. I know. Take what I said as a precautionary tale, then. Eventually someone will break, my boy. At the rate you're going, it could just be you. Oh God, this is horrible. He moved off to another part of the kitchen and my gaze went to the floor. Oh dear Lord, this is awful. Coffee. I still need coffee. I closed my eyes and just stood there, trying to block out my own thoughts. Just give up, Dave. Let whatever happens, happen. Oh wait, is that... Oh no, it's probably a voice in his head. I will do my spooky voice now. Just like I did for Password last week. But less yeehaw. Just give up, Dave. Let whatever happens, happen. Let them die. Oh, it's just like Orlando's like, what the fuck did you just say? Oh God. The next thing I knew, I was sitting at the table, being lightly shaken by Tyson. And by that, he just fucking yeets you off the chair. Wake up! It's like, oh, that was just a light shaking from Tyson. You don't want to see him at his worst. The next thing I knew, I was sitting at the table, being lightly shaken by Tyson. What are you doing? I looked between him and Orlando, then the mug of coffee in front of me. Oh, Dave, you look out of it. Aw, I've just grown to love Orlando more and more, especially after playing after I played a parody novel, or side novel, I guess I could call it, involving him and one other Password character. Not sure if I should spoil it, but I should play that on my channel sometime, but I just keep telling myself, no, it's gonna take too long. Maybe I should just marathon it sometime with you guys and just kind of do it as like a chill stream and just... Yeah. Anyway. Oh, Dave, you look out of it. No shit. Also, what the hell bailing on me this morning? God, fucking had me worried. What? What were you doing this morning? Nothing. Just something he and I do sometimes. Ty made a show of grinding a knuckle into my head, but it was more of a massage, and he knew exactly where to touch. Just hits the Dave button. Dave wakes up now. Well, so long as you're okay. I guess I'll go just make breakfast. I looked up to watch Orlando wander into the kitchen, and I watched as Ty took my mug away. God, this is fucking ice cold. You've been nursing this for how long? Soon he too left, grumbling as he went towards the kitchen. I looked up as Dean and Sal wandered into the dining room. They both looked tired, and I could only imagine why. This is awkward. Good morning, Dave. Sal mumbled something before sitting down at the table. Dean glanced at him, nodding before sitting down next to me. I whined softly, watching as Dean scratched his arm awkwardly as he rested them on the table. This is very awkward. I'm sorry for last night, Dean. Really. He shook his head, sighing out. It'll be alright. He yawned briefly before rubbing his face. I cracked a wry smile, feeling like I should try and lighten the mood. You look as tired as me. Did you sleep all right? He flashed me the same smile back, lasting only for a second. The longer he didn't give me an answer back, the more it sank in. You haven't slept. There are certain things that are more important. Namely, taking care of someone dear to me, and that means Sal. I'm sorry, I didn't... Much like the night before, Dean held up a hand and shook his head. It's fine, Dave. We talked it out, and, for better or worse, what's done is done. I'm tired, though, but that's fixable. And as for Sal, he'll just need some cheering up, but I'm on top of that, too. Don't worry. Can I help? Not this time. If that changes, though, I'll let you know. Dean went to Sal nearby, the pair of them talking quietly between themselves. Oh, Roswell. God, I wish I had that stupid Vine. It was like the thing I was going to show you guys was like a compilation of password vines. And I was going to link the video in the description, but I couldn't find it. Oh, it was so good, too. And half of them included Roswell. Anyway, then Roswell and Haas showed up. Surprisingly a lot more perky than the rest of us. Oh, good morning, guys. Yeah, good morning. I droned my fingers on the table, missing the mug of coffee I'd made myself despite letting it go cold. Well... What's on your mind, Dave? A lot. Okay, but anything more specific than that? We can't help unless you say something. I went to say something, but instead just shook my head, keeping my gaze on the table. Haas and Roswell took seats next to each other and started talking in hushed tones about me. Specifics I couldn't quite make out, but they were planning something. I just had to make it through the day. To tonight. Osman would tell me some more things, and knowledge was power, right? He said as much when I ran into him earlier. Or maybe not that specifically, but if he had anything to help me not break, as Benson put it, I was willing to listen. Orlando emerged from the kitchen with a bunch of toast, and Ty stopped by with a fresh mug of coffee for me. He sat it down carefully in front of me and caught my eye, flashing me a small smile. It made me feel something, but after a moment, it was gone, and he was wandering further down the table with his own mug. They moved off, and the rest of breakfast was a blur. Let's go, Dave. It's alright. It's alright. Let them die. Earth to Dave. Hello, Earth to Dave. Huh? Jesus. I came to with Haas, snapping his fingers in front of my face. My coffee half gone from a cursory glance and still kind of warm. So I must have not zoned out for too long. He's been talking to you for a couple minutes, Dave. Sorry, I just... Haas and Dean shot each other a glance, worried. I could tell they were... but I didn't know what to tell them. After all, what could you say when the voice in your head, the voice of what sounded like your dad, was telling you to let your friends die? Oh god, I totally was misdoing his voice. Yeah, totally messed up his voice there. That's gonna sound awful doing a cheery, peppy dad's... Sorry? But that's gonna be awful doing a cheery, peppy dad voice for him, like, let them die, son! Oh dear god, this is awful. Maybe you should go back to bed. I wouldn't blame you, given how I'm considering it. Nah, I need him for something else. Huh? For what? Just trying to corral your two favorite people together for some friendly... Well, let's just say I'm going to force them to play nice. You're not going to make them wear some sort of oversized shirt, are you? I might, if they force my hand. But let's start with getting them to play a game together. Wait, a game? What kind of game? They're just going to fight, Haas. Oh, they're not going to they're not going to fight. They're going to get along, so help me God, or I'll do something drastic. Or do something drastic. Jurassic Park. Every time when I was a kid, I thought the title of that movie was Jurassic Park. Like this word, drastic. I'm like, there must have been some drastic measures going on there. But then I realized it was Jurassic Park. Maybe it was a play on those words. Maybe I found the secret to Jurassic Park. And now the FBI's gonna come and get me for knowing secrets. Like the shirt. Haas shook his head, sighing out. But before he could comment any further, Dean looked around. Sorry to dash like this, but Sal's giving Orlando a swimming lesson, Dave. I would have asked if you wanted to come join, but, I'm going to make sure he has an extra set of hands. Okay. With a half wave, Dean hurried along out of the dining room, leaving me with Haas. Okay. Guys, let me know if I should lower the volume a bit. I feel like I'm a bit loud. Like, at least to you guys. I think that's a bit better. I should put text speed onto, like, full speed ahead. Just be like... Nah, I can't. I'm just gonna put it back to normal. Anyway, with a half wave, Dean hurried along out of the dining room, leaving me with Haas. Well, time to go. Go where? Haas just grabs my hand. Wait! He didn't answer, instead dragging me up and out of my chair to lead me out of the dining room. Oh, great. Those two. I was like, Tyson and who else? I'm like, not that many people like Tyson on this Mater, but who else was it gonna be? I forgot about the whole Roswell being an asshole thing for the past 3 days. Oh, great. When we got to the rec room, Tyson and Roswell were standing awkwardly in the room, half acknowledging the other was there. You did not miss much, Nivik, or is it? I forgot how to pronounce your name. Might be Nivik. When we got to the rec room, Tyson and Roswell were standing awkwardly in the room, half acknowledging the other was there. Excellent. We're all here. Yeah, I guess. Not that I, mind, but why? He shot Tyson a quick look, uncertain, but he just shrugged back, equally confused. Now that Dave is here, and it turns out he wasn't doing anything, we're going to make you two get along. Wait, what? Oh, that's not, necessary, is it? Really? Oh, really? If it were up to you two, you'd be all... He gestured over his head loosely, rolling his eyes. Not only that, but Tyson's a swell guy and could use more friends. Oh, fuck off, I don't need more friends. You kinda do, Ty. I'm managing fine. Oh, sure. You were doing fine before you discovered anime with your many friends. I half expected Tyson to make some sort of annoyed remark at Haas the moment he spoke, or even when he threw an arm over his shoulder. Oh god! I would have expected him to just fucking, take his arm and just, throw him down from it. It's like, fuck off. Instead, he just grumbled something under his breath and looked away. That's... something. Not that I don't mind Roswell being here, but, Because it's time to bury the hatchet, or settle old feuds. Someone's gotta look out for Big Dog here. Big... dog. Fuck off, I'm a wolf. Haas rolled his eyes, shrugging. Then be the big bad wolf for all I care. You're not telling me that you expect to look out, You're not telling me that you expect me to look out for him, do you? Nope, that's my job. Or else, something like that, anyway. Something that not just anime can solve given what you like, and what he likes seems to be different. So... what, were we going to go get food? I mean, we all like food. Oh, if we're doing food, then we should have grabbed Orlando, right? Unless it's just eating. Then perhaps Dean? Yeah, sure. You snack gremlin, you. Oh, you, Roswell, you. I don't know why, but I really want to see kind of like a fan reading, or kind of like a voice acting group for Password. I just feel like they would do such a good job with this material. And I just want to see different voices and different interpretations of each of these characters. Because I feel like sometimes my voice may be a bit too high for Haas, but I always do that as kind of like the feline voice for most of my characters. Plus, he's also shorter, so it's not like he's, somebody I have to give a deeper voice to. Just reminds me of, doing June and then June's dad. Oh, good times. But, anyway. Yeah, sure, you snack gremlin, you. Well, fine. If we're going to do food, then I'll just go get some snacks and we can do this. Not so fast. I have a better idea. Better than snacks? I know, right? Don't really know what snacks I like. That gonna matter. I chuckled, nervous. Unsure of what was going to happen if he and Roswell had any common ground. Nope, because we're not doing anime or snacks today. At least not as the main activity. I yawned, stretching before looking at the three of them. What is the main activity? Board games. This early? Before lunch? I'd have to agree. I don't think I've ever played a board game before lunch. Normally it's, waking up time? Right? Or like, if it's just a game, just turn on the TV and pull out a deck of cards. Oh, Tyson. Tyson goes to the smoke room. I can imagine that just like a crossover. Tyson plays poker with William and Samuel Murdoch. Fucking sweeps the table with them. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Tyson? Now we gotta have a crossover of the smoke room and Password. Confirmed, Password is part of the Echo universe. Oh my goodness, that would be a funny idea. So, hi, I like your videos, and I watch many of them. I think that's how I'm translating it, right? It's been a while since I've done Spanish, about 4 years. Oh, I forgot what that word meant. Ojalá. Or, like, also? Might be an equivalent of also. Also, wait. Okay. Is that intended? Oh, like, enjoy English. I also enjoy hearing English. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Seven. Yeah, I'm trying to brush up on my Spanish here. Yeah, but I was trying to think of a different word that was like, I thought it was the word teaching me English or something like that. I was thinking of like the word wait, was it enseñar or something like that? Because I know that enséñame is like teach me. Anyway, don't ask how I know that. So, I saw Roswell's face light up, and I quickly looked to Haas, alarmed. Haas's plan worked. Cards, huh? Didn't know you like to play cards, Tyson. Cut that out. Reason we're not playing cards is because you cheat. I do not cheat. That's not what I heard from Orlando. Oh, you mean when they play their trading cards or whatever? Any card game, apparently. Dude, if you're gonna cheat, at least do it properly. I don't cheat! Honest! Anyway, it's not a problem because we're not playing cards. Then what are we playing? You said a board game, but there's a lot of board games to choose from. Doesn't bother me. Beats working out all morning anyway. No, Tyson, don't skip leg day. Do not skip leg day. Leg day is important. Or arm day. Whatever day is today for you. Low key, your arms look kind of, your biceps look low key a bit skinny. Badger would be disappointed in you. And I know that I think Badger was taken out of his cameo. I wasn't sure, or I think he's kept in. I don't know. I just know that he made a cameo like day 5 or day 6. And then there were going to be more cameos for like the bus driver and stuff like that, but I don't think Grizzly ever followed through with that. So maybe there's something else that he hasn't planned. I was going to have a cameo, guys! But then it never panned out. Anyway. Doesn't bother me. Beats working out all morning anyway. Great! So without further ado, let me just go get that game. Oh, please don't tell me it's Twister. Please don't tell me it's Twister. I'll be right back. I watched as Haas wandered over to the cupboard and started to peruse the games before looking to Tyson and Roswell. So... the two of them seemed to be minding their own business, looking at me the moment I spoke. Games, huh? What's the deal with that? I could just see Dave just so nervous about this. Yep. Just assumed we'd be watching more anime. Same. It's most of what Haas goes on about. That and healthy living. Oh, one of those people. Roswell shuddered, sticking out his tongue at the prospect. Suckering me in with the prospect of doing something fun. Did he explain to either of you what was going on beforehand, or... Both of them just shook their heads, glancing at each other quickly. If I had to guess... Kept it from us so he wouldn't bail. Or kept it from us so he wouldn't bail? Yeah, right. Cards on the table, I probably would have. Not alone there. But you're both here, so... I guess it's just... time to get along? Couldn't have said it better myself. Pops out behind them, like... They should be, like, closer together, and then Haas just, like, does, like, a little animation where he just pops out behind the two of them. Couldn't have said it better myself. And we're like, what the fuck? Ah, that would've been too good. Close enough. Haas put an arm over my shoulder while he carried a box in his free hand, rattling it gently. Come on, let's get to gaming. We settled in around a table with a box sitting between us. Oh god, it's gonna be Jumanji. So. What game are we playing? I looked at the box, chuckling nervously. Oh god, it's gonna be Twister. It's gonna be Twister. Oh, never mind. Mousetrap. Not the most team-building exercise, but... yeah, sure, that works. We can play a round of this, and then... I don't know, go from there? Can't we play... I don't know, a video game? If the goal of it is to make friends, then... I don't know, he's got a point. Should have at least planned for something more collaborative. Yeah, more games like Dance Dance Revolution. People are gonna get what I'm talking about. Right, Haas? Anyway. Maybe we could try that chef game Orlando likes. Do it like Cooking Mama! I remember there was like one where it was like, I forget, it's not Baby Mama, but it's like the one where it's like babysitting or whatever with Mama. And somebody had that game and had like the whole baby, like, you know, figure you had to use for it and all that. And they just kept shaking it too hard, even though they barely moved it. And then it was just like every time the mom was just like, no, 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 do it like Mama. And it was so frustrating. He just took the nunchuck that was connecting the thing and just hung it from the roof of his room. Oh, the ceiling of his room. It was so bad. Oh dear God. Anyway, I think it was Jay Schlatt that did that. Anyway, maybe we could try that chef game Orlando likes.
We'll deal with that afterwards. However,
he gestured to Roswell and Tyson quickly.
You two are going to have a little bit of a handicap.
Ties both their arms behind.
You have to do it with your mouths.
Okay, why the fuck would we have a handicap?
Yeah, that doesn't seem fair. Well, how about this then? If you don't want the handicap, then how about you say something nice about one another?
Okay, the hell? Who made you the boss?
There was no reply, but I noticed Roswell and Tyson looking my way. That's when I noticed Haas gesturing at me with a thumb.
Oh boy, Haas. Either this is gonna work, or you're gonna end up in a trash can in the backyard. Wait, what? I didn't say anything!
I mean, if you don't think you two can get along, then by all means play with a handicap.
You literally do not have the power to enforce this handicap.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Roswell. After all, I'd like to think Dave here would love for you two to get on.
I thought I was gonna say get along. Anyway.
Or you can make him sad. Either way.
Oh god, my eyes darted from Haas to the other two who were shifting uncomfortably, looking at each other while occasionally stealing looks at me. Okay, what's the handicap?
Really? You're not going to try?
Oh god, Roswell. Are you going to try? Roswell breathed in deep, rubbing his nose.
Okay. I can do this.
Tyson, I like how you can keep Dave calm when he's freaking out.
That's a start, but maybe try something not involving Dave.
Okay, now you just broke them. Okay, why are you trying to force this anyway? Can't we just, I don't know, play this game on hard mode? Cause fuck, if it's against you two, you probably need the advantage.
I'm not that bad at games.
I looked to Roswell, who seemed determined about something, thinking his words over carefully.
I'm trying to be better. I need to be better.
Tyson rolled his eyes, scratching his head. God, don't go hurting yourself.
God, would you look at yourselves? You're so similar, it's uncanny.
What?
Oh yeah, you two are a lot more alike than you realize. Probably why you don't get on.
Oh, I wonder what other novel does this. There's this one with a hare and a wolf. Well, not a wolf. A husky and a hare that both tend to not get along with each other. And they're kind of from two different paths or two different backgrounds. I wonder who those two people could be. Never heard of it. Don't know what to talk about. Anyway.
Probably why you don't get on.
Really? I don't see it. God, neither.
Same. Well, I've known Roswell a bit longer than you, Tyson. But you're not too hard to figure out.
God, what's that meant to mean?
That maybe you could afford to chill just a little. Roswell has stuff that drives him and that he's sensitive about. You do too, but you both let your guard down around certain people.
Once again, I felt eyes on me. So, about the handicap. Still, Tyson, try harder. Okay, come on, Ty. Try for me. Tyson grumbled, but didn't say anything, sitting back in his chair and keeping his arms folded over his chest. Maybe. If you treat this like a game too, Tyson. Okay, what do you mean? You like games, right? Which means you probably like winning. Just see the game as like proving Haas wrong or something. A little spiteful, but sure, I guess that works. While they talked, I started pulling things out of the box, looking at each of the pieces and looking for the rulebook. For example, Tyson, I like how confident you are. Confident? Yeah, sure. I guess that works. You at least come off that way. Maybe a little cocksure, but nowhere near as bad as Haas. Fucking burn them! Got him!
I'm right here, Roswell.
Well, thanks, I guess. Or no, I thought Haas said that. You're very welcome. It was nice seeing those two interact without being at each other's throats, but something was missing. At first, I thought it was the lack of immediate reply from Tyson, but as I thought about it, it was something else. Something felt off. Maybe it was the lack of familiarity, but they'd apologized to one another, right? That was good. But what if it wasn't? Was breaking what I used to really... Or what I was used to. But what if it wasn't? Was breaking what I was used to really all that good? I valued that consistency, but I've been giving that up by messing with the vault. Intervening where normally I would have just let things play out. God, was Tyson alright with this? I liked what we had, but what if he changed? What if he became someone that I no longer recognized? Let whatever happens happen. Let them die. God, the voice in my head confused me. Let them grow as people, but also let them die? What was the only way to stop them from dying was to keep them the same?
Hey, Dave. Come on, buddy. Snap out of it.
What happened? Notice you were zoned out. Everything good? I looked at the three of them. Much like at breakfast, I was faced with the expectations, with the expressions of worry and concern. I guess so. God, bullshit. What was it that I said that I liked about Roswell? I looked quickly to Roswell, looking him over with my brow furrowed. His clothes?
Not even close, buddy. You need more sleep, or...
I'm fine. The words even felt hollow as they came out of my mouth, a flinch reaction more than anything else. You don't sound fine. Roswell, you're the smart one. You know what's up. Roswell puffed out his chest, scratching his chin as he locked eyes with me, seemingly trying to figure me out like a puzzle. Or he's thinking other things. And technically that counts as Tyson's compliment. Normally I'd say fatigue, but something's different. Very peculiar. Wow, great insight there. Well, go on then.
What's your guess?
Now it was Tyson's turn to stare me down, and I looked away, not wanting to meet his eye. That was Dave, yawning. Could be a couple things. Don't know for sure, though.
And here you two were shocked that you two weren't similar.
Well, you try it. See how you do. Guys, can we just not do this? I gestured to the game in front of us. Even Tyson and Roswell are getting on Haas. This is what you wanted, right?
But what did you want, Dave?
Me? The meme where it's like, me? Yeah, you're always in on what everyone else wants. What do you want for a change? This is like talking to me in real life. It's like, what do you want for a change? And I just sit there going, you guys are just gonna get either too bored or you're either gonna get too disinterested or just, yeah, I feel like people are just gonna get too disinterested in what I want to do. Too interested or too confused, whatever. I can speak very good English. It's bueno. Eso es bueno. Thanks, 7. What do you want for a change? Looking at each of them in turn, I sat back, really wondering what something I wanted was. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. For the most part, I wasn't ever left wanting, so it was a hard thing to think of on the spot. I lingered a little longer on Tyson, that feeling returning in my chest. It hurt in a good way, but for the most part, just made me sick. Perfect timing. I don't know.
Come on, you can do better than that. Did you want a snack? I could get you something sweet to perk you up if you want.
As long as you don't steal that snack from Amicus, we're good. God, if it were bedtime, he'd want to sleep with someone and get some cuddling in.
Hey, could just be that he wants to be doing something rather than just talk all day. That said, talking is always good.
Yeah, I know you love talking already.
Ow, someone already been on the receiving end of one of Haas's anime rants. Just wait until he gets you to pick out your first waifu.
Oh god! No! Oh no! I'm thinking about something else involving Haas in it. I just gotta say, there's something that involves Orlando and Haas, and I don't know if I want to spoil it. And it's just like, Haas goes on this waifu rant, and it's like, it's so good. Oh boy.
Just wait until he gets you to pick out your first waifu.
Oh god, that's never happening. What, Tyson? You gay?
First of all, yes, it is happening. Second, we're getting off track. Focus on Dave.
Okay, Tyson and Roswell laughed to themselves as Haas grumbled. Oh, no. Oh, I thought he was going back into his, like, hallucinations or inner demons again. I'm like, no, don't do this again. It didn't go further than that, and we started playing our game. Of course, Roswell won and Tyson called bullshit anyway. But they seemed to have fun, much to Haas's relief. From there, we moved on to video games. And after the third time of Tyson stealing some sort of star thing from Roswell, we stopped in a huff when Haas snuck out a victory. This was nice, but the thought of what I really wanted lingered. Was it simply to have a good vacation? To keep everyone alive? To have them be friends? Or was I just wanting to be left alone? Me in a nutshell. Dave, why you gotta be relating to me so hard? That's like just me on the daily. I like struggle to socialize, but at the same time, it's like the people I'm around in my house, I'm like, I just need time alone. I just want my own being, my own thing. Like, instead of just being here, I want to move. Anyway. Oh god, not again. God, bullshit. Here, we're going again. What? Mad that you lost again? Oh, that sounds so southern. It's my something in my throat. What? Mad that you lost again? Oh, I did it again.
Guys, maybe chill a little bit.
God, hell no! I had checked out for a while, but as the scores screen flashed up on the screen, it seemed as though they were even enough with Roswell 1 point ahead. Oh, well, fighting in a game is better than in person, right? Just one more, come on!
Sure, just don't go complaining when you lose.
I sat the controller down, not even sure what we were playing anymore. Haas seemed to follow suit, wandering over to the side to look through what other things the room had. Sorry, I was just trying to think of, like, if what he wanted was, like, a password or something like that. Gotta keep these in mind with my pad of paper here. Haas, where are you going?
Letting these two sort it out.
And I vanish. Looking at how things were going with the other two, it seemed they were both furiously mashing buttons to do something. A bunch of flashing lights were happening. A bunch of flashing. I can't read it. A bunch of flashing lights were happening on the screen, and it was a bit hard to keep track of what was happening. The happening, guys. It's happening, man. Like, how could this be happening? Just like the happening that commences. It turns out all the plants are evil here. It was plants the whole time. But eventually, the screen flashed that Tyson had won, and he huffed out pleased with himself, despite the score now being tied. Button masher. Sorry, didn't hear that over the sound of me winning. Roswell went to say something, but resolved himself to crossing his arms over his chest and sulking. God, they were really similar. Or God, really, they really were similar. So, what happens now? Oh, Haas is back.
We're watching anime.
Oh no. The interweave commences. Oh, really? Why?
Yeah, I was kinda having fun.
Well, count me out. Tyson, no, don't go. I looked to Tyson, tilting my head in confusion when I noticed he was looking at me. I'm trying to see, what was Haas's voice?
Oh, come on now, Tyson. Don't be like that. Or don't be like that.
Calm down. It's not like that at all. I just need a break.
Well, if that's all. Mind if I take one too? Neither of you are coming back if you take a break. Calling it now. I feel like I should come back now, just to spite you.
I... Once again, I caught him looking at me, jerking his head towards the door quickly. He wants some fuck. He wants some fuck. I might be back. Don't know. Just need a break for a bit. It's probably about time for lunch anyway, right?
Oh, good point. I mean it. I'll stick around to watch some anime. Could do with something with a lower energy after, well, that.
We headed downstairs, but the moment I touched down on the tiles of the ground floor, Ty started dragging me towards the back door and into the closet where we smooched. Roswell glanced at us over his shoulder, curious, but Haas ushered him towards the dining room all the same. I'm thirsty, just like Tyson. Ty closed the door behind him quietly, and I wandered over to the railing where he had joined me the morning before. Ty? He sighed out, shaking his head. Some morning, huh? I don't... That was Dave again, I swear. Putting up with Roswell, Haas. Didn't think I'd have to put up with you as well. Wait, put up with? What do you mean? You know exactly what I mean, pup. I searched his face before sighing out. Even if it was a bluff, I came clean. Yeah, okay, sorry. No, you're not. I am, really. It's just... No, you're not. You're doing that pushing everything down bullshit again. Zoning out more, and it's fucking stupid. So, you have two options right now. Tell me what's going on with you or don't. But if you don't tell me, then you're on your own. Wait, but I thought you had my back. I do. Not going to force it out of you if you don't want to share, though. Gotta come clean about it yourself. I whined, scratching my head. Ty, it's not that easy. Okay, bullshit. It's not that easy. You're not just wanting to upset anyone. He grabbed me roughly and pushed me back against the railing of the deck. So, I'm gonna ask you again. What's going on with you? Let them die. Tell me, Dave. Tell me, Dave. The voice that echoed through my head drowned out what pain I felt from Tyson digging into my shoulders as he held me. Without asking, he backed off, shaking his head. God, forget it. I'm going inside. Before I realized what I was doing, I reached out and grabbed his hand, trembling. No, wait! Tyson's ears flicked as he looked back at me, waiting. You're right. I don't want to upset anyone, but... I breathed in deep, my grip on his hand tightening a little more. I know what I want. What? I held my gaze on him, hoping he'd be able to piece it together without me needing to say. Well? Ty, you know. What? Not tired now? Is this you telling me how you want to spend the afternoon? What? No, well, no, but
That nervous laughter came out again, and I yanked my hand away from his, burying it into my pocket.
Then what?
You know... Have you ever thought seriously about that one thing?
Okay, what thing? Stop being so vague. Or stop being fucking vague. Going on a date. Eating food together.
He sighed, shaking his head.
We're doing this again.
Well, why not?
'Cause you haven't been listening if I have to explain this to you again. I'm not gay.
But,
I don't know what I am, but just...
He grumbled, running his hands through his fur while his gaze met the floor. He scratched and tugged for a few moments before glancing at me, his tone quiet.
I just don't know.
How do you know you're not gay then?
Okay, what?
Yeah, like, maybe you are and you just don't know it. He stared, growling, wandering over to stand next to me and lean on the railing.
Can't be.
So, you like girls too? He was quiet, looking far off somewhere in front of him. I mean, the options seem nice if you like girls as well, or maybe just girls because there's more girls that like guys than guys that like other guys, you know? I was filling the silence with sound to stop myself from laughing, but I was panicking, something fierce under the surface.
Dave, do me a favor and shut up.
Whining, I did as he said, shrinking into my shoulders.
It'd be easy if it was like that. Sure as hell would feel a lot more normal.
You don't feel normal? He shot me a look, unimpressed.
The fuck do you think?
You seem normal enough to me.
Well, thanks, I guess. I have your dad to thank for all of that, I think.
How come? He pulled his phone out of his pocket, looking at it before looking at me, uncertain.
Just stuff he used to say. Stuff that still seems kind of weird.
Like... He continued staring off into the distance, mouth slightly agape while he mouthed the words, almost running through them himself before speaking them.
That I deserved love. That I wasn't bad. That it's alright to make mistakes. You know, normal bullshit stuff.
It's not bullshit, though. That's just how it is, isn't it?
Yeah, and you've seen what my dad is like.
Right, yeah.
Hell, I had it figured out way before I had the talk, but I assumed I'd get it from my old man instead of yours.
Dad gave you the talk?
Yeah. And...
Oh. I have a notification I forgot to clear off. Wait. No, I forgot to mark it as completed. This is awkward. Oh, I asked it to repeat every day, that's why. Delete. Back to our regular scheduled program.
Yeah. And?
No, nothing, just... I don't know. I guess I never thought about it.
He taught me to drive, taught me a whole bunch of stuff. But now, like, now what? I'm meant to figure this shit out on my own. You still got me. Maybe I could help. Not on this. Not when you're the problem. What? What did I do? Nothing. Don't worry about it. No, really. Because if I did something wrong, I could just... He was staring me down and I felt small. One day I'll have this figured out. One day. And until then, what am I meant to do? Can you just... This isn't about you, Dave. We've been over this. But if you're family to me, and family is meant to look out for one another, and you've got my back end, all these things just make me feel like I'm letting you down by not knowing what to do. You're not letting me down. If anything, I'm letting myself down. I should know how to do this. I'm the older one. His stomach growled as he glanced downstairs briefly. We should get some lunch. Okay. Sure, yeah. Lunch. What are you doing after lunch? I don't know. Haas and Roswell will be watching anime, so... I mean, there's that. Or no, there goes that. We could join them. Could. But... I just want to spend some time with you. Alone. Having sex? No wonder you and Dean get on. But nah, figured we could do something. I don't know. Well, what about if we went for a swim? I guess that works. We could do something if that's not enough. Nah, just hanging out will be good. So long as you don't care about me just sunbaking for a lot of it. We wandered back inside and I felt just as mixed as before. If Ty was bothered about anything anymore, it didn't show. We went in, grabbed some sandwiches, and wandered upstairs to get changed. Or more accurately, I wandered upstairs to change in my swimming trunks while Ty watched. I wouldn't have thought anything of it normally, as he was just sort of around whenever I did anything. But now, and after what he did, after he pulled me into his room, I wasn't so sure. When we got to the pool, Ty unlatched the gate and held it open for me, wandering in behind. I sat my towel down over one of the deck chairs and looked around. Seemed as though the swimming lesson went over all right, but we must have missed the others while I was changing. Ty, are you gonna swim at all, or? No. How come? The water is fine, and the weather seems okay too, right? Yeah, for now, sure. He gestured upwards with his thumb before folding his arms back over his chest. Gonna get rain tonight, I think. Just a feeling I have. Oh, well, I didn't check any forecast, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, that's no surprise. You gotta go swim now, or? I mean, I guess. Tyson, I'm starting to think that you don't want to spend time together. I do. I'm just gonna sunbake. But then why am I swimming all by myself? Just stop being a brat and leave me alone. I stood there staring at him, confused. But I thought... Ty wandered over to me, placing his hands on my shoulders. You want to know so bad? Well, yeah. I care about you. He flinched, digging into my shoulders a little tighter. When you're around, things just... stop, you know? In my head. I tilted my head at him, not sure of what he meant. I don't know what it is. Just having you nearby makes things less crazy. Like I can focus. Looking up at him, he seemed calmer, if only a little. Scary but familiar. Calm but unsure. This was the Tyson I knew, but maybe I didn't know him as well as I thought I did. Maybe that's one of the words, familiar. Taking notes. Are you sure that's all I need to do? Just be around? Yeah, but just not all the time, so... Please? Just let me be around you for a bit. Okay. Sure, Ty. He flashed me a quick smile before backing off, taking a few steps back before turning completely to head to one of the deck chairs. Oh. I watched the gentle sway of his tail, drooping ever so slightly. The way his shoulders moved, stiff as if sore or maybe just trying to put on a brave front. Ty? He stopped, looking over his shoulder to me. What? I like having you around too. I caught the briefest smile crossing his face before he wandered off proper and lay down. As for me, I slid into the water. It was cool, but pleasant. Reminding me kind of when all of us went to the beach. I say all of us, but it was just Dad, Ty, and myself. Mom couldn't make it. For plot convenience. But I remember it was shortly after Ty got his license. He was nervous as Dad decided that he should drive, and he was worried about crashing the car. And what that would mean for those of us if it did happen. We got to the beach fine, and Dad did the drive back. But Tyson... He sat in the back seat with me, pretending to be asleep, but he didn't let my hand go. Not once. I looked over to him and he seemed to be asleep, sprawled out on his back under the sun. Did he love me? Or was this what it was? It felt kind of like Dad, but... different? Or was this just what being like brothers was like? Sliding out of the pool, I wandered over a little closer to check in on him. He was sleeping, calm and relaxed. I was a little jealous. But I moved over to the hot tub and turned it on, sitting down in the bubbling water, just letting time escape me. Hey. The next thing I knew, Ty was sitting down next to me, his pants rolled up to his knees as he let his feet sit in the water. Hey. How was sunbaking? I've never heard somebody say sunbaking. It's sunbathing. Get it right. Fine, I guess. How was swimming? Fine. Water was nice. Ty grunted and we just quietly sat together. He didn't seem to budge shy of occasionally scratching himself or looking around. Ty? What? His tone made it clear that maybe I wasn't meant to be asking anything, and just being quiet all the same. But all the same, I wanted to talk with him. Do you ever think about, I don't know, how things were back home? I try not to. I meant my home. With Dad. I know. And my answer is the same. Don't you miss him? Of course I fucking miss him. I just don't like thinking about it. Just like you. I don't. He pulled out his phone and did something, flicking through something before showing me a picture. It was a shot of all three of us, taken by Dad with Ty's phone. See? Seeing all of us there, happy, just made my heart sink. Sure, Mom wasn't in the picture, but this was still a good memory. Don't gotta think about it when I've got you here. But then, why leave? He sighed and shoved his phone back into his pocket. Then, in one motion, he pulled himself out of the hot tub. I'm not getting into that again. Not now. But if not now, when? Later. When later? Tonight. When we're in bed. He began to shake, refusing to look at me. Ty? Sleep by yourself tonight. Now you're just pissing me off. I tell you one thing and you don't listen to me. You want to talk, but what's the point if you're not going to listen? But I'll listen! You're just not wanting to tell me! Yeah? And why do you think that this is your fucking dumb smile that makes me feel things? And just... He trailed off, catching himself in what he just said. Fuck. Why does talking to you have to be so difficult now? It was fine before. If we were back home, we'd just... Then... order a pizza and cuddle? Right. And... then fall asleep. Yeah, but... And then we'd make pancakes in the morning. He spun around to stare at me, eyes wild in a mix of emotions. His voice came over harsh, if accusatory, eyes narrowing. Okay, what are you getting at? Well, I mean, I like doing that. I like having that time together, but... Did you really not feel anything back then? Tyson's jaw clenched as he looked me over before muttering something, just barely a whisper. Fuck you. I'm not your fucking boyfriend. Stop making it out to be like we're some kind of married couple. Because you're not gay. Or because you're not gay. He seemed to relax when I said it. Maybe hearing someone else say it was what he needed to hear. Look, I don't hate you. But damn, Dave, do you piss me off sometimes. But I didn't mean to. I don't know what I don't even know what I did. I'm just trying to understand. Yeah, well, when I understand, maybe I will tell you. But right now, leave me the fuck alone, please. I was stunned as he turned and walked away. He had his fists balled up tight, and he was shaking as if he were crying. Not once did he turn around as so I could see through, or so I could see, though. Just give up. Just give up, Dave. Let it, whatever happens, happen. He fumbled with the gate and left me there in the tub, alone. An emptiness in my chest made itself known, and I felt hollow, almost sick. Looking down into the water, I wondered why I wasn't crying, to the point I was subconsciously touching my face. Had I just forgotten how to cry, or had what just happened not even registered as something that to make me sad? Or had I moved right past sad into shock? Ty was important to me, as a brother, as someone who I looked up to, especially now that Dad was gone. Mom didn't like him, though, so maybe that was why I feel conflicted. For so long, he'd been part of my life that I never really questioned how much he took care of me, that I didn't really know how to take care of him back. Everything that I did know was just what I assumed was normal, or that Dad did for me, but Tyson was just different. The water, despite bubbling around me, didn't feel relaxing anymore. It just felt uncomfortable. Each bubble crawling against the skin under my fur, while the inside of my head screamed with bad thoughts. What if I let Tyson die? Would I be happier or sadder? What would everyone else feel? How would I feel? My stomach lurched the moment I thought about it. Losing Tyson would be devastating. But something deep down in me made me wonder if he'd be just as devastated if I were to die. By the time I made it back to my bedroom, I was exhausted and not hungry. Looking at the time, chances are I'd be called down for dinner, but I didn't want to go. At some point, Orlando came in to check on me and mentioned that I should eat something, but left when I said I wanted to be alone. He lingered, but ultimately left quietly. Not that I felt up for talking anyway. The evening went by, long past dinner into the later hours of the night, all while getting closer to when I was due to meet Aswin. And then, it was time. Oh shit, here we go again. I made my way to the conservatory. After all, this was where I'd come those nights ago. Even though Oswin disappeared downstairs this morning, this was the passage I knew to follow. Not only that, but he said same place, which meant the library. Pulling the books Haas showed me opened the passage, and I stole one last look at the room before heading into the darkness. I followed the wall, and soon... There we go. Looking down from the landing, I saw Osman leaning against the table we sat at those nights ago. He seemed to be looking at something in his head, rather than watching for my arrival. When I headed down the stairs, whatever he was holding, he put in his pocket, looking up to greet me. Good evening. Yeah. Oh, what's the matter? Are you tired? No, it's not that. It just... I don't know. The last couple of days have been... busy? Oh, of course. Granted, it's been informative for me, watching things play out. I shuffled nervously on the spot, keeping my gaze on the floor. So... what are we meeting for again? Oswin huffed out quietly, his tone serious rather than coy. I've prepared something in the lab. Someone for you to meet, too. Meet Haas 2.0. With more waifu... with a bigger dictionary of waifus. Oh my god, that'd just be hilarious. Or even, we'd have another Orlando. Other cooking in Orlando to make Orlando's job easier. And for someone to talk to when you got some drama going on. Okay, back to serious parts. Anyway. Frowning, I shot him a wary look. There shouldn't have been anyone else here unless someone had arrived without everyone noticing. Come this way. I'll show you to the lab. He wandered over to the large door and input something into the keypad. A familiar chime playing afterwards. No. Then the door itself started to open with a groan. Just enough for Oswin to open it by himself. You... opened it? Yeah, yes? Yes? Is that so odd? But it's just like downstairs. Well, yes. Using the same door is one thing, but the systems connected to each are quite different. This just has a corridor behind it. Or rather, my part of the house. I am so nervous now. Without explaining further, he stepped through the door, leaving it open for me to follow him through. I took another look at the library before steeling myself of what was on the other side of the door. Okay, we got a Bible within a few feet of us, just in case. We need to exorcise the demons, in case there's any. I don't know if I have any holy water left. I had some where it was like, I think a family friend got it from like the Holy City or the Vatican or something like that, and had it in a little bottle and gave it to me one day. Just like, forget what it was for, but it was for something. Anyway. The stretch of dark that led who knew where into the house. It was darker somehow than the passage of from the conservatory to the library, but it didn't seem nearly as long when I bumped into Austin's back. We're here. Just a moment. He did something in the dark, and another chime played, with another door being thrown open. Oh no. Oh. It's just lab equipment. Evolution 1 as opposed to Evolution 2. Coming out in July. Or no, wait, it's July. Coming out in August. Oswin stepped inside and I lingered outside, letting my eyes adjust to the dim green light coming from the computer in the corner. He's Hacker Man. I knew it! Come on in. Mind the mess. I stepped in, wondering if I should close the door behind me. Oswin, meanwhile, was by a cabinet off to the left, but it seemed there was another room attached to the room I stood in, based on the doorway tucked away in the corner. This is the lab. Oswin wandered over to his desk, hanging a key on a corkboard before turning to me. This is part of it. Mostly just my surveillance area and where I entertain myself. The lab proper is just over there. Taking another look around the room, it looked like something out of a TV show when you imagined a mad scientist's hidden lab. Shelves of glass tubes and jars, books, and other science-y equipment. It was dark with a few things that glowed various colors, almost like a lava lamp that we had back home. Oh, there's my lava lamp in the side. Do you like it? It's fine, I guess. Oh, come now, Dave. How often do you get to see something like this? Well, never, but science isn't really my thing. Me neither, bud. No? Then what is? I chuckled, kicking the floor lightly. I like making things, like arts and crafts and stuff. Making things. How incredibly juvenile. Hey, I'll have you know that I've made a lot of neat things. They keep my hands busy and they make me feel better. Well, as someone else that likes making things, then we should swap creations sometime. Turns his waifu into a real being. Oh, that'd be funny. Huh? What do you make? If you had a square of paper, I could make you a little origami pig for your desk if you want. Well, that would be a neat little addition. Alas, I do not have paper like that for you to use. Actually, while I remember, we're getting off track. I brought you here to show you something. Then there's that matter of introducing you to someone quite special. He gestured to the desk chair as if offering for me to sit, and I did so, rocking lightly on the swiveling chair. Oh boy, but there's no one else here. Well then, how about you take a seat and I'll go grab what I've been preparing in the other room. Oh dear God, he made a living being! I shouldn't be too long, but I should ask if you have any qualms with rodents. Ironic, we played Mousetrap earlier. How ironic! Like mice? No, they're neat, I guess. Good. Then I shouldn't be long. Thanatos. It's Thanos, but as a rat, it's Thanos Rat. Would you mind entertaining my guest while I prepare what I need to? Thanatos? Oswin just waved over his shoulder, leaving me sitting at his desk. He disappeared into the next room while I swiveled in his desk chair to look at the computer. He had a half-completed game of Minesweeper open. Don't you dare ruin that game of Minesweeper. Minesweeper is a tough game, and it takes lots of time, lots of effort. It's like building a house of cards. If you mess it up for him, then you ruin it all, and he has to go back to the beginning. Don't mess with his Minesweeper, Dave. Anyway, he had a half-completed game of Minesweeper open, plus a few other things open that seemed to be documents and reports about something complicated. Thanatos, god of death. Oh? Or oi? It's capitalized. Oh my god. It's like, oi! Uh-huh? Who said that? Me, a daft lighter. I'm trying to do like an Australian accent. I'm trying to get back to... What's his name? From ICO. The dingo guy. I forgot his name already. Fuck. Forgot it. But the dingo guy. The dingo guy. What was his name? But I'm trying to get his accent. Oh, me, a daft lighter. Me, a daft lighter. Okay, then. Oh. Oh, hi, talking rat. Or talking mouse? Whatever you are. I looked down from the computer to the desk, a large black rat staring up at me. Around his neck was a collar, what seemed to be a small speaker attached to it. I wonder if the movie Up is gonna sue him for this. Oh, kid. Finally, took you long enough. It took you long enough. Hello, Mr. Rat. Where did you come from? Have you seen, Thanatos? That would be me. Wait. You're talking? Obviously. But you're just a rat. Rats can't talk. The rat tugged on his collar with a paw, seemingly understanding. Right about that one. My master and his sister got this up and running. Your master? Oh, you mean Oswin? You seem to just watch me for a bit, almost assessing me or appraising me of something. Sure. It's nice to meet you. I'm Dave, by the way. Yeah, I know. So, why can you talk? Why make a color so you can... You know. And why are you standing on two legs? Nobody's gonna ask that. So you can, you know. You don't have the faintest idea of what's going on here, do you? Well, I'm talking to a rat. You're taking the mickey. Is this an Australian thing people say? You're taking the mickey? Is that like taking the piss? You're taking the mickey. A special rat? His tail thrashed behind him slightly before falling deathly still. His eyes locked on mine. Jesus Christ, this rat is like fucking spooking me right now. I'm just a lab rat. I help Master out with his work, including the vault. Wait, what? Wait, help out how, though? He, from memory, he doesn't seem to think the vault works. Yeah? And what's your take on it? Or what's your take on that? Of course it works. It's got to, right? After all, From the speaker, the rat seemed to chuckle in glee, rubbing its paws together. Yeah, it's been a riot to watch you doing what you do. Fallen down 3 times by now, yeah? He chuckled again, and I grumbled. Something like that. But, yeah, it works just fine. You got that door open yet? Even though the speaker, the tone he had... Even though the speaker, the tone he adopted was dripping with some form of sarcasm, of course I hadn't opened the door, and Thanatos seemed well aware of that fact. Want to know what's behind that door? Wait, you know? Course I do. Oh boy, it's only been 11 days and we get to find out. Like, I went from this being like, okay, like, from days 1 to 6, I'm like, okay, this is just a very trivial novel, just a very slice of life in a sense, just maybe some drama. Then days 6 or days 7 through 10 or whatever it was, we're like, okay, it's just gonna be, don't let somebody die. And now we are talking to mice. Great. And we're in a mad scientist lab at the same time. This game just knows how to up the ante when I don't think it could. Course I do. Could tell you if you want, but you're going to want to come in close cause it's meant to be a secret. Ah! 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 No! I found myself leaning in towards the rat, curious. Benson had us finding metals to open the door, but if I had the chance to find out what lay behind the door, it must have been something to get us actively hunting for metals again. No, no, no! Is this close enough? Oh, little closer, little closer. No, no! Oh my god! The whole time he had his eyes on me and I leaned in closer still. His nose was twitching, as if beckoning me closer. Dave, no! That's right. Right there should do it. I frowned, tilting my head slightly. Oh my god! Okay, so what's in the vault? Don't do it! No! No! I could see the rat's mouth twitch upward ever so slightly, his voice coming through the speaker, satisfied and smug. It's silent. Oh no. No, don't do it! It's a secret. No! I thought it was a drill. I thought he was gonna drill through his head. That's why I was like, oh shit, we're gonna die. Fuck! He helped as my head was yanked back and up with something pressed against my neck. Something sharp, a needle maybe, but either way, it hurts. Dave, no! Oh god! Before I knew what was going on, Osman had pulled away and placed what looked to be some sort of gun on the desk. Thanatos was now gone, having scurried off somewhere. He had a hand on the back of the chair to keep it stable, but I found myself diving from it to the floor, clawing at my neck. What did you do to me? He said nothing at first, turning his chair towards me as if gesturing to sit back down, but I didn't move. You're going to sit down, and then you're going to answer some of my questions, Mr. Holloway. Okay, so that's his last name, Dave Holloway. I flinched upon hearing my name, propping myself up to... I flinched upon hearing my name, propping myself on my elbows as Oswald spoke to me again. I don't know what is happening anymore, and I am extremely spooked. Nightcore, I am very spooked. Please do not make this more difficult than it needs to be. Sit. No! He sighed, shaking his head. He seemed to rummage in his pocket for something, shielding it from me before placing it right back. It better not be like some kind of goddamn internal taser or whatever that shocks me if I'm not obeying. Dave, it's pointless to resist. I've injected you with a truth serum. Are you fucking kidding me? This is like Liar Liar on steroids. I've injected you with a truth serum. You're going to tell me everything I want to know, so there's no point in fighting it. When we're done, I'll give you the antidote. The fuck? I gave you a fucking truth serum. I paled and felt sick. My hand went to my neck and I whined, breath picking up as I panicked. But what if you don't? He looked me over, raising an eyebrow. You're more valuable to everyone alive. Oh dear God. But if you want to take that risk, it is of course your own prerogative. So again, sit down. I picked myself up, trembling as I wandered closer and dropped myself into the chair. Then slowly, Oswin turned the chair to face him while he leaned against his desk. Now, I want you to take a look at something for me. Huh? Metamorphosis. That is another password I'm gonna write down. Wait, is it with an E? Are you? I thought it was META. I swear it's with an A. Yeah, it's with an A. I'm not crazy. Oh, wait, what? Metempsychosis. Oh, metempsychosis. I thought it was metamorphosis. I'm an idiot. Metempsychosis. Sorry, I've been obsessed with trying to get the right password because I hate spending 2 hours trying to find the password when I don't know it. Okay, tell me what this word means, boy. Wait, what the fuck does that word even mean? Tell me what this word means, boy. I struggled to focus on the piece of paper he was holding, but there was a word written on it in thick red marker. I don't know that word. No? Then allow me to enlighten you. This word, metempsychosis, is the process where the soul transmigrates from one body at death to another. Oswin is straight up a Hindu. Or, wait, he's straight up Hindu, I guess. He really believes in Hinduism on this one. Now I'm gonna write what that means for myself. Soul at death. Soul transfers from one body to another. Maybe Grizzly was Hindu the whole time. Anyway, the word metempsychosis is the process where the soul transmigrates from one body at death to another. Do you follow so far? Nodding slowly, I stared at the piece of paper, the thick red lines etching themselves into my head. The veins in my arms itched and ached from what I assumed was the truth serum. You've never heard anyone use this word before, have you? Or have you? No. There were big words that Roswell occasionally threw around, but nothing like this. Interesting. Oh god, there's somebody that I'm sorry. There's a movie that says that line in that exact tone, and it's like so quotable. Anyway, he watched me for a bit before sighing out. Well, I'll be frank with you, Dave. Thanatos and I have been keeping tabs on what you've been up to, including your little foray last night. I'm forced to believe that the vault is working as it was intended to. For what reason and to what end, I haven't the faintest idea. I could feel something crawling under my fur, and I started to feel hot. Was I running a temperature? Was I just dying? Next question. Does the name Florencia ring a bell? Wasn't that his sister? That might be that, or maybe the sole survivor. I keep writing down multiple password stuff. Florencia. What the fuck is a Florencia? No. Wait, should it? I guess not. No. At least I hope it would not. Or at least I would hope not. Granted, that does raise other questions. I just don't know where to start asking. Although I should start with that's the name of my sister. I called it! Hey, I love your video, Dirk the Red Panda, and is the tennis ace? This is definitely not tennis ace. This is Password, a visual novel about this guy who has a truth serum and has a vault. And we try not to die, or have our friends die. Anyway. Although I should start with that's the name of my sister. Is it important? Oh, Reginald is dead. Florencia is... Oh god. He sighed, rubbing his head and adjusting how he was leaning against his desk. She's... What? A problem. Oh boy! Now we got some villain for Oswin, or some antagonist for Oswin. Oh boy. Do not get me wrong. I have some form of familial love for my sister, but there's some things left. Well, alone, shall we say. Still, to think we find ourselves here, of all places. Who are you really? I'm fucking Dave! Who the fuck are you? Oh, let me guess. We're gonna be Reginald's soul or some crap like that. Or our dad was, or whatever. I didn't know how to best answer the question. What sort of information was he after? Dave Holloway. I'm no one special. I have a mom and a dad. Had a father, but go on. Hearing him clarify made me flinch, and in the moment I didn't think to question how he knew that. I don't have any siblings. Closest would be Tyson. The smallest smile found its way on my face as I thought of him. Oh, I thought someone was smiling at first. I'm like, oh no, oh no. Anyway, as I thought of him, soon fading when I wondered if I was going to see him again. I'm single. I'm single too, but I'm still figuring that out. Oh, and last question, Dave. Oh god, I don't know. This is awful. I probably should have saved at the beginning of day 11, but whatever. I don't know if this is gonna help. I'm very scared. I don't know how to feel. And I don't want to put I don't know, because then I feel like that's going to be a very bad ending. I do not even feel close to safe in this house. I'm going to start with I don't know, and that's why I saved beforehand. God, I furrowed my brow, unsure. I didn't know enough to know for certain, and after having Oswin inject me with something, having claimed he was on my side, I was having second thoughts. How could I know for certain? You don't want me dead, but you're willing to inject me with something to get me to tell you the truth. What if you decided to lie? Then it wouldn't be the truth. That would be a paradox. Therefore, your proof is invalid. Why anything? A tad profound, but sure. And what if what I injected you with was also deadly? Oh fuck, we're gonna die because of this choice. Okay, then I can't trust you, or anything you've told me so far, including getting an antidote. You watched me carefully for a few moments before speaking plainly, his tone indicating that he thought through how he wanted to phrase his statement. We are done with questioning, Dave. We're done. Which means I should inform you with what I injected you with wasn't a truth serum. We're gonna fucking die! No! Frowning, I sat up in my chair, confused. Either he didn't notice, or he didn't care. He continued. What I injected you with was a saline solution. The worst you'll feel is possibly more alert from being slightly less dehydrated. Oh, thank God. Thank God. I thought he was gonna put cyanide in us. What would I be dehydrated from? No, wait. Why did you inject me with anything at all? Raising from the chair, I stomped my feet, seemingly feeling fine, to see if what was happening in the vault was just an application of the placebo effect. Which, honestly, it still could be. Granted, that's possibly something that was factored into its design, but good to know you're susceptible to the phenomenon. Wait, what? What? I am so confused. My eyes narrowed at him, unsure if I should leave or stay in hopes of this turning out for the better. Besides, with how much coffee you drink and how often you sleep, you could do to drink more water, Dave. Oswinbot says, stay hydrated. I would love if his next line was to the reader where it's like, stop and take a drink of water, viewer. You need to take a water break. Grumbling, I shoved my hands in my pockets and turned to leave. Have you had enough for tonight? Look back, what? There's more? I thought I was going to be showing something interesting, but instead you've just gone and put me on edge after injecting me with something. Saline solution. It doesn't matter what it was. I just thought that you could trust me. I nodded quickly, and Oswin rubbed the bridge of his nose. I do apologize. It's been a while since I've had to deal with younger adults. Anyway, although I did need to follow through a test, theory. What theory? Do you remember how I said the vault works on trauma? That perhaps you've lived through these events before? Sure, it was a morpho something. Morphic resonance, but yes. Morphic resonance. That you've got a genetic memory to call upon to keep you safe. The fact that you didn't seem to know what I was about to do implies that the trauma wasn't strong enough. What? Your trauma wasn't strong enough. Your PTSD was not strong enough for you to remember that in the future you'd somehow get injected. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Or that the vault doesn't work? Or this is the first time we're on this loop. Oh no. Is this gonna be Groundhog Day? Fuck. My expression must have given away that I was confused, and he continued. Consider time to be in a constant state of flux, changing, moving, but additionally always looping. Ever heard of the phrase that history repeats itself? Oh my god. It's a flux. Life is just a flux. Sure, but I had thought that was more about, like, people having habits or something. Oh, something like that. More locally, you can see it within families. The sins of the father are the sins of the son, and so forth. Or, more bluntly, you learn how to behave from your parents, and have an increased likelihood to be as them. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. I mean, that makes sense. Also the genetic part, I guess, because I'm related to my parents, so... I didn't know how to finish the thought, but I felt smart having made the connection. It didn't seem too hard to follow so far, but who knew where the conversation was going? In part, but it's more abstracted than that. Or rather, think on a larger scale. Civilizations? History in general? Bigger. Think macroscopic. Someone's into macrophilia. Wait, macro. Wait, microscopes? Macroscopic. The opposite. Bigger. My siblings were of the opinion that time itself loops infinitely end to end. Oh, like that movie with the ground... Oswald, did you inject me? What is happening now? It can read my mind. Oh, like that movie with the groundhog. Not exactly. Or like that movie that's coming out soon called Palm Springs, where it's supposed to be like Groundhog Day, but I think 2 people are stuck in the loop. And it's in Palm Springs. And it's in Palm Springs, don't forget that. The opposite of Groundhog Day being in the winter and in snow and everything like that. It's like a 180 of Groundhog Day. We're not Groundhog Day. We're in Palm Springs. Anyway, not exactly. They were of the mind that at the end of the universe, time resets itself from the point of the conception of the universe, and things play out exactly the same. Wait, what? That seems kinda silly. I agree. There's nothing to support this. But Reginald was fond of his quantum nonsense, and my sister was more than happy to entertain his thoughts. To the point of wondering if they could manipulate these supposed resets with this theory of morphic resonance to actively take hold of the reins of history. Okay, this is some mad scientist shit. But that would mean that if what they thought was true about the reset thing, then We would all just, like, get completely reset, and we would all just, like, completely evaporate from time or whatever. It occurred to me that Roswell would have likely got a kick out of what I was going to compare it to. Wouldn't it be like having psychic powers or something like that? No. Just no. That seemed to hit a sensitive nerve for Oswin, as he huffed and clenched his jaw. Despite what my sister believed, you're not going to get radical powers through this. Being able to say my friends seems radical? Enough! I will not entertain the thoughts of such things. It's not scientific. Okay. Fine. Oswin do be having those big hands, though. What those hands do. Besides, the vault itself is a testament to their work. If their theory held true, no event prior to its creation could be circumvented. But the events after it could be. Okay, my mind's about to be blown by this novel. This novel is not only just a horror, it's going to be a fucking sci-fi, or not, yeah, sci-fi-esque in a sense, like Twilight Zone shit. Oh god, everything is in black and white because it's the Twilight Zone. God damn it. Why am I realizing all of this today? I am drinking the knowledge of thirst. I am drinking the water of knowledge. Fuck. Besides, the vault itself is a testament to their work. If their theory held true, no event prior to its creation could be circumvented. My mind immediately jumped to the one event that I'd want to change if I could. If I swallowed, an uneasy feeling in my stomach making me uncertain if I should ask. Which is why I find your ability to use it interesting. He pulled a marker out of his pocket and drew a single straight line across the paper he had flashed to me before. Time is represented like this. A single line. Oh, this shit. We're gonna go with this shit. At least in my opinion. There are no alternate branches. There's no going back in time. Only forward. On more than one occasion, you've been able to get this to work. And like I told you a few nights ago, I've only programmed in 2 passwords. One to open the door, and another for something else. Yes. Something else. Not gonna reveal it. I wasn't joking when I said that the vault is a containment unit. Consider it akin to a bank vault. And the other password would be the code to my specific storage box. Oh god, we're gonna find this out at the end, aren't we? Which begs the question, how have you been able to use the vault in ways that should have been possible? Right. Which begs the question, how you've been able to use the vault in ways that shouldn't be possible. Thanatos knows how to program the vault as well, but only on a theoretical level. Bringing us back around to history repeating. I don't get it. Let's say you went through life and suffered a great loss. Damn, you're hurting his feelings. Something you witnessed and had to live through. You went about your life after it and one day died. The world went on until the collapse of the known universe. My blank stare must have upset him, as he frowned and continued in a much more terse tone. The universe expands, Dave, and like an elastic band or a balloon, at some point it will snap back, inciting what we know to be as the Big Bang. An implosion so strong, it will generate another universe once again. But even if that was true, how would it know to make things in the exact same way every single time? Exactly. As you say, and you'll forgive the pun. But the chances of that happening are astronomical. And I thought I had the dad jokes. But that's what my siblings believe to be the case. And I hate to admit that what you've shown so far lines up to their theory, at least. A sharp pain rang through my head, and I clutched it briefly. Something was scratching in my mind. Something that I couldn't quite explain. What's wrong? I don't know. My head hurts. He closed the gap between us and lifted my chin to look at me in the eye. It felt like he was assessing me just by looking me in the eye. And carefully, he stepped back, satisfied about something. You're fine. It's the fuck now we're fine. It's the fuck now. But my head. Dave, you're just tired. Granted, I could see why you might be a bit panicked. Grumbling, I messed with the fur on top of my head before shoving my hands back into my pockets. So what happens now? I go to bed and then... That is the question, isn't it? I have some things to think about, but mostly, I feel it's time I do something I should have done the first time you passed out in the front of the vault. Pulls out lay gun. Don't do it, Oswald. Which is... make myself known to everyone currently living here. Oh, shit. We are all gonna fucking die. Is that smart? You were hiding for a reason, but now... what's different? Well, to be honest, not a whole lot. But it does behoove me to be somewhat of a known presence here in case things go wrong. Heaven forbid I get blamed for a murder under my own roof. Are you sure about that? Okay, you promise you're not out to kill any of us? I won't hesitate if you threaten me with lethal force. But my intention is to see all of you, or to see you all to safety after all. I do not wish any of you dead. And Benson? He may be a trained assassin and butler, but he answers to me. No wonder he could, break our fucking arm. Don't threaten him, and you'll find yourself perfectly fine. In the original, Root gets shot. It's like the Chad Benson assassin versus the virgin Oswin that got shot in the original ending. Oh, man. I whined slightly, rolling my wrist lightly in my jacket pocket. That would have been so nice to know this morning, but I did deserve what happened. Well, okay. Run along to bed, Dave. I'll see you sometime in the morning, or perhaps lunch. I'll figure it out after I've gotten some rest myself. He looked me over when I didn't move right away, quirking a brow. Speaking of which, gotta get this stupid eyelash out. Oh, God! What's the matter? I don't like that you injected me with something without my permission. I don't like that you snuck up on me and did it either. And I don't think I trust you. Good. What the fuck? Oswin, I'm gonna lead you all to safety. 2 minutes later. I don't trust you, Oswin. Good. To be honest, I'd be worried if you did. All things considered, a healthy level of doubt will keep you alive longer. But I'm a man of my word. I don't wish for any of you or yours dead. But I will defend myself. Oh, fuck. Alright. Well... Backing up a bit more, I watched him until I made it back to the doorway to the lab. Are you quite done? Sorry for not feeling comfortable with my back turned to you. Then how about I lead? There's a faster way out of this part of the house. He wandered over and led me out of the lab. I followed close behind so that I could still see the white mass of his back, but far enough behind that I was out of arm's reach. We were both quiet, but the sound of the house filled in the silence. The creaks and groans of the old house making it feel alive, as if it were breathing. Oswin pushed something against the wall, and the section opened, revealing what seemed to be the basement. Here we are. This is the basement. There was a passage here? He looked at me and nodded once before moving into his explanation. There's one secret passage from the conservatory to the library. You know this one. Right, and then this one leads to the lab? Technically speaking, it is attached to the library as well, but the laboratory does exist in between, as does my bedroom. Then there's one last passage, leading from just outside the dining room to that same passage we just passed through. Whoa, that's freaky, man. That's... I thought back to where Benson would appear and disappear from, figuring that was just him making use of that passage. Likely the one you've noticed Benson using, yes. It's the one he uses most often to bring me food, given how direct it is. Looking around the basement, my eyes locked on the door leading to the vault. I guess... I'll see you later? It would seem so. Sleep well, Dave. By the time I looked behind me, he was already disappearing back through the passage, closing it behind him. The section looked like any other part of the wall, and if I didn't know there was a passage here, I wouldn't think twice about it. There wasn't anything left to do now. It was just time for bed, where I'd be spending the night alone. Part of me wanted to be different. Part of me wanted to go find Orlando and cuddle up. Aww. Part of me wanted to maybe find Dean or Tyson and do the same thing. But I was alone. I stumbled into my room, but not before heading to the conservatory to close off the passage to the library. And when I got to my room, I nearly collapsed on the bed in exhaustion. The place was cold and quiet, making me shiver and cradle myself before forcing myself to shower. Clean, tired, and feeling a little lonely, I looked at my phone. Pictures of me and my friends. Some of Mom and Dad. All of this mixing in to confuse my emotions further. All at once, I felt sad, happy, alone, loved, and I hovered over the button to call my voicemail. I hesitated, wondering if listening to Dad's voice would do me any good before I held off and pulled my finger away from the dial button. Something in me felt lighter. Not that it made me feel better entirely, but it was something that was different at least. I scrolled through the rest of my contacts. Tyson, Roswell, Orlando. I set my phone down with a sigh and got into bed, half hugging my pillow as I tried to will sleep to come to me. Oh, it keeps going. Wow. Falling asleep was hard, but it happened eventually. My mind was racing, wondering about what the next day would bring, and how the others would react to Oswin. Or what he did to me in the lab. It was something I had to decide if I wanted to bring up at all, but that was something for the morning. No, don't end. Okay, end of demo. Okay. Save. Let's just say, wait until the weekend comes. We will have what time it takes to sort it out. To see it through with Tyson. So that's the end of Tyson's update. Unless you guys want me to load up the... There it is. Unless you want to see what happens if we say yes or no. I want to see if we say no, we just like die. It's just like, nope. No. It's like, no. Well, that was cyanide. Goodbye, Dave. You got me curious, visual novel. Well, I just saved. Okay. I'm like, did I just save? Here we go again. Let's see what happens if you say no. I whimpered, shrinking into my chair. I didn't. Hold on. Okay, I need to uncheck unseen text. I was doing that when I wanted to see some earlier CGs, which I still haven't found yet for Dean. Anyway. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. I'm in a part of the house the others don't even know about. Which means if you were to die here, no one would find your body. Leaving me with all the power in this situation, correct? Pulls out the gun. I nodded quickly and he sighed out, rubbing his head. He watched me carefully for a few moments before speaking plainly, his tone indicating that he'd thought through how he wanted to phrase his statement. We are done with our questioning, Dave. We're done, which means I should inform you that what I injected you wasn't a truth serum. Frowning, I sat up in my chair, confused. Either he didn't notice or didn't care. He continued. Okay, it's the same thing. It was a saline solution. The worst you feel will be being less alert. Okay, everything's the same. Same. Okay. Alright. So, nothing too different. Maybe it's something that will change everything down the line? So... Now let's say yes! Oh boy, this one's gonna be bad. Watch us die because of this. I nodded slowly, staring at the older boar. All things considered, I felt relatively safe. That's a lie. But how much that was faith I had in my friends, I don't know. My veins burned and itched, wondering if I was mistaken. Yeah, I think I'm safe. You're certain? Yeah. He quirked a brow as if asking me to clarify. Mostly, what I think is that you just want to know what's going on. You said before that if you wanted me dead, you have just done it, right? Oswin relaxed, sighing out. That's right. I have no desire to harm you. But a lot of what you do doesn't make sense. It shouldn't make sense, and frankly, it is so pseudoscientifical that I'm half convinced you're pulling an elaborate ruse. He watched me carefully for a few months before speaking plainly, his tone indicating that he thought through how he wanted to phrase the statement. We're done with our questioning, Dave. We're done, which means I should inform you what I've injected in you wasn't a truth serum. Frowning, I sat up in my chair. Either he didn't notice or didn't care. He continued. What I injected you with was a saline solution. Okay. Same for all of them. Maybe it's just going to change a future option. Okay, fine. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. But I was alone. Same thing. Okay. No matter what, it's always going to be the same. That is the end of Tyson's password update. And oh boy, did I enjoy coming back to this. I felt in the beginning the novel was a bit slow, in my opinion. Although the character building was still good, I just thought it was just a bit of a slow start the first 5-6 days. I literally made a comment about that on like the 5th day going into the 6th one, saying, oh, this game is really slow so far. And then shit just happens. I was like, oh, never mind. And it's just picking up more and more, I feel like. The like days 7 through 10, it felt like it was picking up, but it was still like somewhat of a slower pace relative to my other novels. Well, besides Tennis Days, but both these novelists are they're buddy in some ways, so I guess they think alike. But yeah, anyway, it just felt like it was still slowly going up the ramp, or well, still going up the hill, and now it's like picking up pace now once we got to like day 11. Wait, day 11 has another ending. You have to replay it. But would that be if I messed up on day 10? Because we chose to save Sal and Dean on that day. I'm assuming that's what you mean? I mean, as much as I'm like trying to like clarify but not spoil. Because the only decisions I made on day 11 were these. Or was that one of do you feel safe? I'm curious. I'm going to go to day 10 and just make a purposely bad decision. Okay. Skippity, skippity, skip. You guys can watch this in my previous update for Tyson, which is last episode. Prepare breakfast. Yes, we must prepare breakfast. Always prepare breakfast. That's going to be the alternate ending. You don't prepare breakfast. No, it's on the same route. That's what I mean, Ivik. Even when it's Dean and Sal, because Dean and Sal happens on all the routes. Because when we did last episode, it was the same ending as if we would have done it for Dean. So that one's supposedly the same alternate ending, I guess, all around. So, yeah. I forgot what the password was, actually. What the hell was the password for day 10? I do not remember anymore. Okay, keep going. Not too sure. We'll describe them. Blah, 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 blah. Metal. Forgot this is what we did with him. And there's Sal. What have you been dreaming about? Benson. Being all like, have you taken anything to make... Have you ever wanted to kill somebody? Thanks, Benson. A new choice appears when you replay day 11. Wait, I have to replay it? Really? Oh god, I forgot how the password worked. Okay, screw it. I'm gonna go back to the beginning of day... What the hell was this day called? Day 11. Yes. Just for aesthetic purposes. Am I allowed to skip, though? Is that the thing? Okay. I want to see what this alternate ending is. Everything's the same. I'm not going to repeat the same words. So, you know, if I replay it, Then that means I can get this choice, right? Still waiting it out? Where's the choice? Dang it! Same old, same old. Nothing's happened. Oh, I lay staring at the ceiling. This is gonna be new. The evening went by. I was due to meet Oswin. Oh, you get a choice not to. This will be interesting. I'm not sure if this will, like, end it, or if this will just end up, like, throwing us onto an alternate route. Or an alternate ending that doesn't finish yet. Oh boy, as I stared at the ceiling, something was prodding me somewhere in the back of my mind. Nothing had happened today, but something was urging me to do something. I looked up and around, checked my phone, wondering if I had forgotten something. Let them die. I was getting sick of that voice in my head telling me that I should just let my friends die. Then it occurred to me that there was something in this very house that could help with that. Something that, as far as I know, was the only lifeline I had. The vault, but... Looking around again, I wondered if someone was watching me, or if someone had done something to make me think of it. But the question still lingered in my mind. Should I go? Well, hello, new choice. Okay, where the hell am I gonna save this? Okay, I'm just gonna make this like Tyson Part 2. Part 21. And this will be Dean Part 2 when we get to it. Okay. Tyson Part 2. Oh dear goodness. I am very scared. Maybe this is the right decision, and at the whole time we had to play it twice. Nivik may have saved us. Low key, he may have actually saved us. Or they. He, they, she, whatever. Whatever your pronouns are. Let me know if I'm getting them wrong. I think about it again, and I just wondered if there was anything really problematic about me just paying a little visit to it. Not only that, but if I was going to be meeting with Oswin, the topic might come up anyway, right? Oh dear God, we're gonna screw something up. Creeping out of my room, I wandered downstairs. I could hear the other people in the house. Happy voices that seemed to be interacting nicely with one another. I couldn't tell who it was, but I continued on downstairs. By comparison, the basement was cold, dark, and quiet. I flicked on the light and wandered over to the one room I was interested in. That wasn't to say I didn't look around for any other doors. What had happened this morning was still something I was conscious of. And there it was, standing before me. I knew it was good to take notes. You're fine in the name. Oh, and the pronouns. Cool, Nivik. But oh my goodness, this might change everything. There it was, standing before me. I sighed out, stepping closer and reaching out. The moment my fingers brushed the input panel, I closed my eyes and waited. Not waltzed. I pray to God in anime for this. It's gonna be that metempsychosis. Your boy's about to do it on his first try. There was a chime, and I tensed up before a sharp pain made my knees buckle. I hit the floor soon after. Shit. My mind was racing, pain coursing through my side from where I assumed I had landed on the floor. Oswin in somewhere. An office? There was the word, but what did it mean? Why? Oh dear God, this is gonna be bad when we figure it out. Had I just mashed buttons and made up a word? Oh God, I came to on the floor of the vault, the room spinning as I came back into focus. Groaning, I picked myself up, bracing myself on the wall while my breathing leveled out. My body hurt, but if I saw what I did, there had to be a reason. Stumbling back into my room, I splashed myself with water and let the clock run down until the meeting. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. And then it was time. Okay, I'm gonna skip all the parts we already did, just so we can get through this. Chop chop! Okay, we say hi, and oh, it's gonna be like when he asks us, have you seen this word? We're gonna be like, yes. Like, he'll be like, what happened? This is the lab? Okay, and then we're gonna probably get injected again. This will be very fun. Oh. Actually, well, I brought you here to show you something. There's a matter of introducing you to someone quite special. He gestured to the desk as if offering me to sit, and I did so, rocking lightly in the swiveling chair. Can I ask you something before you do? He raised a brow, curious. Can it not wait? It won't take long. I scratched my neck, suddenly feeling suddenly feeling itchy. Was it just nerves? Was it because of tiredness? You're not going to show me a piece of paper with a word on it, are you? Dun dun! Maybe I'd hit a nerve, or maybe it was that he was just taken aback? A word? What word? I thought over what I'd seen in the vault, mouthing the word to myself before speaking it quietly. Metempsychosis? Slowly, he pulled out the piece of paper, out of his pocket and unfurled it, showing me the thick red lines that made up the word. This time he's just here like, he's just like angry with the word. Oh God, this is crazy. How? What do you mean? How did you know that I was going to show you? How do you know this word? Or how did you know this word? I hacked the game of life. That's how. Do you know what this word means? I shook my head, staring at the paper, then to him, my mouth feeling dry. Ironically, my mouth feels so super wet right now. Thanatos, make note of this for me later. Wait, who? I'm Dave. What? I'm Dave. I'm gonna save this. This is interesting. I'm loving it so far. Wait, who? I'm Dave, so... My pet rat, well... Lab assistant. It's complicated. But tell me how this has happened. I don't know. I went to the vault before coming here and... He realized. He slammed the piece of paper down and looked thoughtful. Damn it all, Florencia. Who? My sister. But that's not important right now. Well, that decides it for me. What does? You know enough that word. You know that word, but don't know what it means. You predicted that I was going to show you it as well. Not only that, but how were you standing it? How you were standing it was kind of the same. He tensed up, looking me over. I wrote this word down for a very specific reason. A way to test if this was all some strange occurrence, or if it was actually something measurable. Didn't you say the vault relied on trauma? I am Dave. Now that Fallout guy is stuck in my head. Nice. So, anyway. But didn't you say the vault relied on trauma? That's right. But what was traumatic about telling me that word? Well, naturally I'd need to simulate. Naturally I'd need to simulate some sort of shock to your system to mark the event as traumatic. I had a syringe prepared with a saline solution and was going to use Thanatos as a distraction to inject you while you weren't looking. But that's terrible! Come now. It wouldn't have done you any harm, and if anything, would have made you feel less dehydrated. Besides, that's something that never happened. You're wrong! Pardon? If I was able to use the word in the vault, then that would mean that it would have had to happen in another timeline or something, right? I'll pretend to entertain the thoughts of alternate timelines for the sake of your explanation, but I assure you there's only one. Granted, you're likely right in that it did happen. You told me to trust you. God, have I done anything of the sort to make you do otherwise? My eyes narrowed and I grumbled. Injecting me doesn't give me a lot of faith, Oswin. True, but outside of what? What if I were to offer you something to even the scale, as it were? Wait, such as what? How will I know if you'd follow through on any promise either? Then, how about I reveal myself to your friends? Would that suffice? For the sake of full disclosure, I was planning on doing it anyway. How would something that you were going to do anyway prove to me that you're trustworthy? I stood up from the chair in a huff, irritated. God, I'm leaving. I turned to leave, burying my hands in my pockets. Funny, isn't it, how despite piecing this together, you still came to meet me tonight? I stopped in my tracks, thinking of a witty comeback, but he had a point. If seeing what I did was traumatic enough to warrant staying in the vault, why did I go? You're curious and mean well, and some people will take advantage of that. I've been considering taking advantage of it myself if there weren't more pressing matters. Okay, what's your point? I'm not going to say we're alike, but we do have similar things driving us. Curiosity is merely the catalyst that speeds the process along. I turned to face him, frowning. And what would you say drives me, huh? I'm just some guy that got wrapped up in this whole science thing. To top it off, I've been seeing my friends dying, and it sucked. I can only imagine. But for that very reason is why I sympathize. Watching someone die, especially before their time, is tragic, regardless of age. What do you mean? You know what I mean. Or you should if you were paying attention a few nights ago. But as a doctor, you see it often. Things out of your control, and sometimes the best thing you can do is let them die in peace. Holy shit. Oh boy, I scoffed, throwing my hands up. Okay, that's meant to make me feel better. I've been hearing that inside of my head most of the day. I didn't say it was the thing you should do. Far from it. If you can save their life, sometimes it's worth the momentary pain. My license may have been revoked, but I have never once broken my Hippocratic oath, Dave. I didn't intend to either. Okay, I'm gonna open up the window because I'm sweating here. Gotta get some air in here. Despite the uncertain feeling I had, I lingered, wanting to hear more. Why are you telling me this? The reason I choose that word, Dave, is its meaning. Metempsychosis? I clutched my head, something lingering in the back of my mind, as if I was remembering something. It's something. The soul. There was a brief pain in my head, fleeting and searing hot, but the moment I felt it, it was gone. Are you alright? I think so. My head hurt for a second there. He watched me with a careful gaze, thinking something over. Metempsychosis is, well, it's like you say, the transmigration of a soul to a new body after death. Something in the vein of reincarnation. You die and become as new in your next body. The soul remains the same, but, well, it's all highly philosophical. The reason it was this word was because if you did what you did and remembered it from nowhere, well... He trailed off, looking to the side. What's happening to me? Like, what made me go to the vault? What's making me see things? Why is it affecting me, but no one else? If none of the others have messed with it, it's their own prerogative. If you keep going back, that's likely due to it subverting your friends meeting an early end. Well, beyond that, why it works... Well... I think it's best if I let Thanatos explain that. I'm going to head into the lab and prepare something. Don't you dare get the fucking saline injection! I'll be right back. Got my eyes on you, Oswin. He wandered off into the side room, flashing me a smile over his shoulder before ducking out of sight. Hey! I'm trying to say hey in Australian accent. Hey! Huh? Oh, there he is again. As I looked to the desk, a rat wandered out and stood facing me on the desk. Now they address that he's standing up, on his two legs. You never seen a talking rat before. I noticed the speaker on his collar, but this rat couldn't really be talking, could he? No, sorry, I can't say I have. Are you Thanatos? Or Thanatos?
Oh, that I am, and yeah, well, chances are you aren't going to after me.
Not sure if I'm doing Cockney or Australian at this point.
That I am, and, well, chances are you aren't going to after me.
I'm just gonna keep this voice for Thanatos. Or Thanatos. Whatever the hell his name is. Thanatos. It fits him perfectly. It's just gonna teach me to work better on that. What the hell was that dingo's name? From ICO. I forgot it already. I'm sorry, Cetus. Anyway. Oh. Well... His beady eyes stared up at me as his ears twitched and tail lashed behind him.
Oh, so you want to know how the vault works, huh?
I'm trying really hard.
So you want to know how the vault works, huh?
Well, that's what Osmond said you do, anyway.
Nah, he said why it works. Which I can do fine, but first, you gotta tell me something.
Tell you what.
That dragon friend of yours. Yeah. Orlando Noble?
I try to say noble in a Cockney accent. It's hard.
Yeah. Orlando Noble?
Fuck. What about him? I kind of know his secret based on some hints given in spin-off games I've played with him. Or, well, one spin-off game. There's only one. So, what about him?
You know what his family does for a living, right?
There it is. They're gonna reveal it here, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna find out what Orlando's family is like. Yeah. Why? Thanatos stood still. Or Thanatos. I don't know how to pronounce it. Keep going back and forth. Thanatos stood still, searching my face before cracking a smile.
Oh, well, sure, well.
He scratched himself behind his ears briefly before looking up at me.
Master said the vault works on genetic memory, yeah? That morphic resonance stuff.
Sure.
Well, you still need the code in the person to be affected, yeah? Little bit of DNA will do the trick.
What does this have to do with Orlando? Did you take some of his and code him in? Thanatos looked past me to the entry to the other room. Thanatos, yeah. It is supposed to sound like an F. Thanatos looked past me to the entry to the other room, as if checking if Osman was coming back. His voice was lower, even as if he came through the speaker next he spoke. Do not inject me, Osman. I swear to God I'm gonna just take your arm and snap it. Well, wait. Hold on, what? I missed something. His voice is lower. Oh, did you take some of his code and put it in?
His dad is.
What?
Took some of that bastard scales and figured I'd see what would happen.
Wait, but if Orlando got the vault to work...
He's one half of his dad, so yeah, guess that's enough.
The realization dawned on me. As far as... I was about to go into Australian there. As far as I knew, no one had taken my DNA, so the reason the vault worked for me was... Wait, so did you get my DNA from my dad too?
Oh, hey, keep your voice down.
Motherfucker, I swear to God. The moment that Thanatos had told me to be quiet, I heard footsteps behind me, stealing a look back at the desk. I managed to catch the tip of the rat's tail disappearing into the darkness and out of sight. Are you alright? I heard yelling. Oh, I'm fine. Just, I looked back at the desk again to where Thanatos, this is so hard to say, was standing before looking back at Oswin. Thanatos told me the truth that, Orlando's dad? He sighed and shook his head before rubbing one of his tusks. God, did he now? I'll have to scold him later for giving away specifics. But why? Oh, that dragon is a dangerous man. It's best if... Oh, he technically doesn't know that... I don't want to spoil it for you guys now. I don't want to spoil it now, because it was really implied in a side game that I played. So, it's... That dragon is a dangerous man. It's best if... well... It's just best that we don't pay too much mind in his involvement. Isn't it a bit late to be saying that now that I already know? Well, you have me there. Very well. The noble family and mine have had dealings in the past. As would any family with a lot of wealth. Granted, most deals aren't exactly the most legal, but... with that much money, you can make the law enforcement look the other way, or the court system. I wonder if this is an alibi to something. I'm not sure if alibi is the right word, or if this is a reference to something going on right now in the country of America. And mostly around the world too, but America has it to such a drastic extent. Anyway, I went to go to say something, but he had cut me off, continuing his thoughts in stride. Yeah, if you want to know about Orlando's dad, play his root. Yeah, I know. Know about that. This isn't to say it's the right thing to do, but it is something that happens, and happens a lot. My interactions with his family have been few and not quite all that pleasant, but they're a necessity. Necessary how? Especially if you don't like them. It's a sad reality of the adult world. You'll be forced to interact with people you dislike just as much as just part of your day-to-day routine, be it work or otherwise. In any case, there was some level of interest in getting the vault to work, and was asking about it after Reginald died. Was wondering if it was something he could buy. And obviously not. I love my brother and sister, and it's rightfully theirs. I wouldn't sell it to a man like that, even if I was in dire financial state. I nodded slowly, thinking it over. I'm guessing, too, that if it worked, you... Correct. I wouldn't want something like that in the hands of a terrible person. Someone nicer, perhaps, but this was all assuming it worked. Something that I didn't have confirmation on until now. Anyway, I have something to show you. You better not be lying this time. What is it? He sat down what looked to be a gun on the desk next to me. A vial... Oh, it's the solution. Never mind. A vial of something clear sloshing about attached to it near the top. This is called a pneumatic injector. Similar to a normal syringe, but looks more scary. Similar to a normal syringe in that it'll inject you what you load into the top, but with compressed air so it's delivered quickly. Also handy for delivering medicine to those with hard scales or scoots. Like your crocodile friend. My eyes were trained on the clear liquid loaded in the injector, not taking my eyes off of it as I asked my question. What's loaded in there now? That'd be the saline solution I told you about before. Did you want me to prove it? I could inject you with it. No! And if it's poison, then I'll inject myself. I'm fine either way if you're that curious. Oswin dies at the end because of it. Oh, this would be too good. Why the fuck are you giving me so many choices? Let me save first. My god, what is happening? I'm getting hungry, but at the same time, I want to finish this. Inject me. Inject him. Don't inject. I really wanted to inject him, just to spite him. I'm gonna inject you and see what happens. If it's just saline solution, just... Oh, wait. Oh, I meant to say inject him, sorry. I was like... That's what I meant to say. If it's not as dangerous as you say, then inject it into yourself. He just, starts freaking out. Very well. He didn't flinch, taking up the injector and pressing it into his own neck. Pulling the trigger, he winced at what I assumed was the contents of the vial entering his bloodstream. Very well. Carefully he pulled the device away and set it back onto the desk, looking at me. All done. Just like that? And just like that, think of that stupid song where that Ellie Goulding song. Paradise. There's like some movie that I don't think it did that well, but it was like the main song for the movie, and yeah, that was one of the lines in it. Which someone would eject me. Wish someone eject me. Oh God, you nasty. Just like that? Of course. I wasn't lying about what it contained. Given the amount of coffee that I've had today, it'd probably do me some good. Oswin. Okay, is it working now? My mic just turned itself off when it got unplugged. Okay, so I'm just gonna reread that line. Okay, one last thing, Dave. Then we'll call it for tonight. Just gonna double check my OBS. Then we'll call it for tonight. Okay, it works. So silent. Okay, one last thing, Dave. Then we'll call it for tonight. I followed his gaze over to the cabinet, frowning. Something in there? Something of the sort. That cabinet holds some dangerous things. Plus, some not so dangerous things, too. But someone's been in there. Things are missing. Oh, someone's been in here. I thought a guy was actually just like locked in there or something. I was like, oh dear God, if there's a dead body, I'm gonna flip out. Anyway, but someone's been in here. Things are missing. I became deaf. Am I too loud now? I can move the mic away then. Is this better? There we go. I'm gonna do my best with it. But wouldn't the Natos have seen who it was? Oh, you're right. He should have, but for whatever reason he didn't. Oh, Benson doesn't know either. I have no reason to believe either of them would be disloyal to me. However, disloyal to me, however, creating the problem. How big of a problem is it? What was taken? A very few choice chemicals, some medicine, and while we're at it, various DNA samples. That's kind of gross. Dave, I'm talking fur and alike. Nothing as far as more intimate samples. I got some of his... I'm not gonna say it. My brother was showing me this stupid, anime, and this chick just keeps talking about her love nectar. It's so awful. And she's a yandere, and that's the worst part. Ugh. God. As long as there's no love nectar in here. Anyway, Dave, I'm talking I read that part. At least as far as I can tell. Okay, why are you telling me this? The things that we're taking could be very dangerous. So I'd caution you about the strange substances you come across. DNA in my salad? I'll be around as a safety net, but just in case I'm not around at the time, be careful. All right. But for now, why don't I show you the way out? It's long It's long time the both of us got some rest. Okay, now it's back to normal. I'm just gonna spam the enter button till we get to the to be continued line. So same stuff, same stuff. I'm gonna stop when the skip button is grayscaled or is not highlighted, I guess. Okay, same stuff, same stuff. We fall asleep, we look at our contacts. I know this is supposed to be a very touching moment, but you know, things just happen. Okay, falling asleep was hard, but it happened eventually. My mind was racing, wondering about what the next day would bring, and how the others would react to Oswin. Not to mention everything that he told me about the stuff missing from the lab. It was something I had to decide if I wanted to bring up, if at all, but that was something for the morning. Okay, and that is it. To be continued. End of demo. Magic. And that fully concludes Password's Tyson update. And now it seems like we have a better ending on our hands. I probably will continue with this situation instead because it seems like it's actually more beneficial to solving everything. The other one just seems kind of like, oh, we got injected, but at the same time, we wouldn't know as much or not be able to get as far in terms of solving the situation. You know what I mean? At this point in the game, there are 4 routes, all with different body counts. Jesus! Dirk, quick question. When are you going to do after class? That one's been kind of on my hiatus for me. Like, I kind of lost, like, interest in it because I already have, like, 4, I'm not sure if ICO counts as the 5th, but 4 or 5 novels on my hand already, and I want to not burn myself out again like I did last time with the channel, like when I did in March. So that's why I had to let go of it. It was tough because I had to cut a couple of novels that I thought were very interesting, like Echo, Jenna's Route, After Class. I cut Our City, but that one was kind of on the fringe for me. Like, on the lower end, I mean, kind of like in terms of interest. Yeah, so I totally recommend people like, I gotta say his name right, Lyde Lud, also known as North Grizz in Discord, but he's also the guy with, like, I think he has a wolf, like, profile pic for his channel. It looks like Blide, but it's Lyde, is how you say it. He also does After Class, and he's doing, I think, Lars's at least. And I bet Yuki does it too, I'm not sure, but I think a couple of other people might do it. I mean, I'd also recommend Fallen Wolf if he's doing it, because I'd say, you know, he's somebody that kind of just deserves more of a following for how much work he puts in. And yeah, that's all I know who does After Class, but yeah, right now I'm kind of on that hiatus for it. If I'm really feeling it, I might pick it back up. But I have Coach Gill and I have Lars to catch up on. Yeah, just those two. I was thinking about, did I have Mr. Stone? But no, I did not. Or Mr. Parker, whatever his name is. The first split is after saving Benson on breakfast time. The second split is on the day 10 volt. Yeah, that's the second one. Definitely know about that. Wow, what are the other... Oh. Would the injection thing be like the 4th split? I'm not too sure. Oh, wait. Maybe it's going to do the pass where it is kind of the split. He doesn't do the other routes. He only does the Mr. Parker and Lars. Yeah. So, I mean, you got that, but... like I said, if I really find the time and I'm really feeling up for it, I'll check it out again, but I'm probably way behind in terms of days. I think it was like on day 6 for each of them. That's how far I got. But yeah, I still appreciate and, respect the creator and what they've done with it and the artists behind it and whatnot. Like, they have a good game. They've made a good game on their hands. It's just that I was much closer to the other novels and I just, kind of fell out of love with it for a bit, and because of that, it just kept going where I was like, it's too late to continue. There's a new VN called Human Heart. It reminds me a bit of more Natsu. Not sure if that's a good or bad sign, but right now, like I say on my Twitter profile, commissions are closed. My VN suggestions are closed for now. So I like the ideas, but yeah, I'd have to wait until I open up again. Plus, I might also fit in somewhere my March Madness type of thing around March. Maybe do one, like, in a couple of months or around now if I have the time to, just have something quick to do and just kind of a fun little best boy thing again. Or even best girl. So, I would say, it's pretty much going to be the same routine. If 10 Essays comes out next week, I'm probably going to do that next week. And the Smoke Room's probably going to come out sometime soon, of course, because they're on a roll with that. But I am starving, and I really want dinner, and I need food in my stomach. So, that's it for this episode of, the Smoke Room. That concludes this episode of Password. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, take care, guys.